I've always been what you'd call an intuitive person. And I've been called a smartass and quick-witted and just about any other thing. Unique was something as a child. But sorry, my mascara is messed up and that's bothering me. But anyways, something came to mind that we overlook, and it's not the color of your skin, it's the weight of your heart. And everyone wants to put value on themselves through their job, their titles in life, how much money they have in the bank, just shallow ideas of who we are rather than what we stand for. And I don't know, it just seems like the thinking really needs to change, that you can go around suggesting you're a certain way, but in all honesty, that character, who you are when nobody's looking, is what defines who you are as a person. So just came to mind that excuse me, came to mind that a lot of people are faking. And we hear fake it till you make it, and that used to be something I lived by, and now I don't really know how it applies. I don't see how you can fake a good heart. I don't see how you can fake that you care. I don't see how you can fake happiness, hide the truth. There's just so much that we're dishonest about in this world, and that dishonesty bleeds into, like what I was just talking about earlier, trust. And when the trust is gone, there's nothing left to kind of move towards in life. So, like I said, the thought that came to mind was, it's not the color of your skin, it's the weight of your heart. And I'll tell you, I've tried to be a light-hearted, loving person that is compassionate. And there are times where I swear even racism can sneak into my heart. And it's stereotypical terminology that when you're in a fit, when you're throwing a adult temper tantrum, almost like a child, we just don't get on the ground and kick and scream. Instead, we throw our hands and make big scenes and put fear into those around us, because it's kind of like, whoa, what are they going to do next? And we start creating more and more distrust and pulling away. When you push your family away, you push your coworkers away. And that has to do specifically with what is in your heart. And considering most of us have been through trauma, there's a side of us that it has to be strong. It has to survive, right? And we live in a world that more so profits off of us and is willing to watch us suffer for the gain of just a few. So we're all busy competing with one another and inadvertently viewing each other off of this stereotypical lifestyle that, oh, since you're homeless, you must not work hard. You don't deserve anything. Or you're not willing to bust your ass at a job where you're disrespected, so therefore you're just lazy. Just all these concepts that really don't add up in my heart for my mind to comprehend. So when it comes down to it, it's just bad teaching. It's things that were put there in order for us to traverse this world that really does not have our greater good at heart. So we're guiding our children to do the same thing, and it just becomes a more violent world that is competitive, full of greed and hate, rather than focusing on working together regardless of the color of your skin. Because if you have a bad heart, go group together with those that have a bad heart. Don't keep contaminating those that are trying to make a better life and a better world. And honestly, if your heart is so hardened, sit down for a while. Think about why you're where you're at. Think about who originally hurt you. And it honestly could be yourself. I mean, I know I've caused a lot of pain in my own life by what I've allowed, what I neglected within myself because of the fear of not wanting to put my parents down, or not wanting to talk back and get in trouble, not wanting to rebel, or the labels that I had placed on me that I was rebellious, that I was a problem child, when really I didn't even get in a whole lot of trouble. Things did transpire as I got older that pushed me to go, you know what, I give up. I don't care anymore. You don't care, I don't care. Let me show you what bad can be. And that ripped my soul apart. And even being bad, it was hard because I still applied certain stereotypical aspects to my life that didn't make sense to my heart and soul. So when it comes down to it, I even was too afraid to create my own ideas of what was acceptable in my life. And now that I'm close to 40, it's having to undo the thinking, having to go, okay, that doesn't apply to my life. That doesn't make sense. So how can I make it make sense to my heart? Because I don't look at the color of somebody's skin, just like I don't look at the color of their eyes to value if they're intelligent or not. I don't look at somebody's hair color. I mean, we all grew up with the blonde jokes, but come on, it's not. If blondes were stupid, there wouldn't be any. They would have all walked off of cliffs, like the joke said. I don't know. So it comes down to seeing the world from a different perspective, and that perspective cannot pertain to visual aspects of a person, because all you're doing is prejudging people and thinking that certain people are inferior. And it even goes down to gender, right? That men are supposedly stronger than women, but women give birth, and women, well, I don't even need to go into it, but it's just this imbalance of thinking that we've been trained to think from people that were narrow-minded, or that have created a system for us to compete within. And that competition always leaves somebody out. So in a world where most of us are left out, it's kind of time to open up your heart and stop seeing the world through racist colored glasses, or gender segregation, or identity understanding that puts you in little boxes, that keeps you separate from one another. And I know it's hard, because this is having to unlearn. This is having to create a world for yourself and your children and the future generation that is going to allow for everyone to work together, because we've created a mess. The world we live in is a shabacle. It's something that's just creates shitstorms one after the other. And noticeably the weather is changing. People are talking about it. If you don't feel it when you step outside, I don't know. You come to Texas, visit the Devil's Kitchen, and you'll see that with each passing day, it gets hotter and hotter with each year. I mean, you're talking about in the next 10 years, your skin can almost burn off of your bones just because it's so damn hot outside. And that comes from competition. That comes from unjust ideas of balance that are imbalanced. So it was just another quick thought that crossed my mind and wanted to share that. So maybe consider thinking with your heart, and talk to you when I have another idea. Bye.